Okay, so anyway, the reason I took you down here, guys, I'm going to pan the camera around, is that behind me, or not behind me, to my left, as I mentioned before when we were on the bridge, there is St Thomas's Hospital, which is up there. This is St Thomas's Hospital. But what I didn't mention is that starting from the gate, the old gate, 1 second, we have got what slowly became, here in London, the COVID remembrance wall. Okay? And I'll show you why. Okay, that's the old gate up into the hospital. Okay, so this is where the wall begins. As you can see, they then designated this as an official memorial. Okay, the National COVID Memorial Wall. And as I go around, you're going to see why it's quite humbling and quite sad. Everyone that lost somebody or wanted to pay a tribute of some kind came here during COVID and left a heart. Here's a good example. Sylvia Renton, R.I.P. 1926 to 2021. She lived a long life. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but that made her 95. Goodness, incredible. I know, it is. It's very sad. It's very humbling, to be fair. I've seen this before. It's not my first time, but each time it puts things into perspective, doesn't it? Let's be honest. You know, whoever we are, wherever we live, whatever we have or don't have, this really puts things into perspective. Okay, each one of us watching this stream now, myself included, are alive and healthy. Touch wood. These people, these poor souls, are gone. Indeed, God bless each and every one of them. As you can see, guys, I'm going to walk the entire length of the wall. There are some people coming along past me that are visibly upset, and I can understand why. I'm sorry for your father-in-law. I'm sorry for your loss. And the incredible thing about the wall is that, as you can see, guys, looking across, we have a multitude of languages here. You know, this is not just people writing in English about their loved ones, etc. I'm guessing, although I might be wrong, I'm guessing that's Chinese, Mandarin. This in front is Russian. Ti amo, Papa. And it goes on and on. Dozens of languages here. Sheila Kovac. Look at this beautiful lady when she was young. As you can see, guys, the wall is absolutely enormous. There are, I mean, I don't know, I'm just guessing here, but hundreds of thousands, if not potentially many millions of hearts. I really couldn't begin to guess how many we've got. But as you can see, you know, there are just many, many hundreds of thousands of hearts along this wall. This is I'm walking along the National COVID Memorial Wall, which is next to St Thomas's Hospital on the south bank of the River Thames. To give you an idea location-wise, this is behind me, the Houses of Parliament, Palace of Westminster. Yeah, this wall, for anyone just joining, just to confirm, this is the National COVID Memorial Wall, and each heart is a message that's been left. People started, just spontaneously, people started writing messages and drawing hearts on this wall. And as COVID spread in the UK and elsewhere, etc., people that either live in London or were visiting in London and had lost somebody came down to pay their respects and to leave a small personal memorial here on the wall. Yeah, there are very few spots in London that I would actually say that I find humbling. St Paul's Cathedral is one of them, without a doubt. There are a few other places, but yeah, this is a different league entirely. It's very humbling to walk along this wall, because you can't even begin to imagine. Yes, there might be hundreds of thousands of hearts, but each of these hearts represents at least one, if not more, souls who are sadly now departed. It's an enormous, tragic number of people. And this is just a very tiny micro sample of how many people died globally, and it really does put things into perspective. Just to reiterate, this is the National COVID Memorial Wall here in London, directly opposite the Houses of Parliament. This bench, guys, is there are two or three of them here, but this is one of the most famous benches in London. Simply because if I go and sit on it, 1 second, and show you what you can see, somebody's decided to write "End is near." I dare say that was added during COVID. If I sit on this old wooden bench, let's see who it is. Somebody had sponsored this bench. Guessing again, COVID. And if I sit down on this bench, the camera's going to come with me, I'm going to sit down. That, folks, is the view. At night, I would say this is it's a very romantic place to be, whether during the day or at night. But it's, the view at night is spectacular. You can't see, obviously, now the Houses of Parliament are not lit up, but they are after dusk, and the lights, the palace really just looks spectacular. So that bench is a great spot to stop at. 1 second, guys. So I'm going to carry on walking along the river here. Tragic as the wall is, and seeing all of these personal tributes that people have added here, the beauty of this walk, this river walk, views, ignore the graffiti, it's spectacular. I believe that you can still add a heart to the wall. I can see no reason why not. There is no signage saying that you're not allowed to do so. There isn't a lot of space left, as you can see, but the wall has been stenciled. If I go a little bit closer, you can see that the very light pink stenciling, some of it is red hearts that have worn away, but a lot of it has never been drawn on. Somebody has left a beautiful, unique, individual tribute here. Look at this, a little ceramic tribute. And another enormous heart. I think this is the biggest one I've seen, actually. Nigel Barker, rest in peace. And it looks like all of his family and friends, either he had a very large family or all of his family and friends have signed it too. bags of leaves, guys. The green bags on the floor. It's just where the street cleaners come along and fill up these bags. They try and keep this area as clean as possible all the time. And as you can see, there are a lot of leaves that collect in the gully here on the ground that runs into the drainage. So they're always here filling up these green bags with leaves. It's a thankless and almost endless task, as you can imagine. No, there isn't. There's nothing protecting these hearts from fading, and eventually, and in some ways I would argue appropriately, just like with memories, they're going to fade anyway. Okay, this wall is enormous. Yes, I mean, I guess they could glaze it or cover it in some way with perspex, but I don't think they're going to do that. So this wall is very much being left to the elements. I mean, you can see there is some damage on the wall, and some of the hearts that have been here since the earliest point are very much faded. And look, going back to where we came from, I mean, just look at it, the wall is an extraordinary length. Pretty sure that, sorry if I got distracted before the original question of can you still add to it. I believe so, yeah. There's nothing here specifically stating that the memorial is now closed or it's full or you're not allowed. So I see no reason why people would not be allowed to add to it now. I don't know, so don't quote me on that. But there's nothing here suggesting that that one can't add a heart or a tribute to the wall. It still goes on. I don't know how long. I would guess perhaps from one end to the other it's a good half a mile. I would wager a guess, perhaps even slightly longer, but goodness knows how many hearts that means. Too many, that's how many. Yeah, this is the National COVID Memorial Wall here in central London. I believe that yes, you can. You're allowed to write any of the hearts that are not actually currently occupied with somebody else's tribute. I can see no reason why not. But eventually, this wall, as I was mentioning before, just like the memories and everything else, like everything in this world, it's going to fade, isn't it? It's as simple as that. These hearts may be here for a few more years, perhaps even a decade, but eventually they will fade, and the wall will return to its natural state.